December 7, 2016 Wednesday Chitral Domestic Airport 240. This flight was from Chitral to Islamabad, which takes 1 hour and 10 minutes. This plane was to take off at 3:3. There were a total of 47 people in this plane, out of which 42 were 3 pilots and 2 more hostesses. A very big hero of Pakistan, Junaid Jamshed, was also traveling in this lucky plane. A week before, the Prime Minister of Pakistan Nawaz Sharif had traveled from Islamabad to Gilgit by this plane. At 2:55, the boarding of the plane started and all the passengers started getting loaded in this plane. The history of this plane is very strange. This plane was first launched in China in 2007. Just a week after that, this plane was sent to Pakistan Airlines on May 14, 2007, exactly 2 years after it was bought. On May 30, 2009, this plane had already crashed once at Lahore Airport, in which it suffered a lot of damage, but it was repaired later. At 3:24, the plane's taxiing procedure started. Those who do not know the procedure of taxiing, I have already told them in my previous video, so you go and watch that video too. Exactly 5 years after the Lahore incident, one of the engines of this plane failed, but that engine was replaced with a new engine. After that, there was no technical fault in this plane. The pilot who flew this plane for the first time had told the management of the plane many times that this plane is not capable of flying on dangerous roads. It should be freed from the ground, or at least it should be freed from the mountains. But the management of the plane ignored this and kept the plane normal. This plane was to take off from Chitral at 3:30 and the plane was to land in Islamabad at 4:40. The plane was being flown by Captain Salha Janjua, who had more than 12,000 flying hours. He had 2 co-pilots with him. One was Ali from the gym, we 3, and the other was Ahmed Mansoor Janju. Ahmed Mansoor Janju had got a job as a pilot 4 months ago. Junaid Jamshed was traveling in this plane with his wife. He had gone to Islamabad for tabligh on the first day and was returning to Islamabad after staying there for a few days. The Deputy Commissioner of Islamabad was also traveling in this plane. His wife and a small girl were also with him. These RTI planes are of very small size and are made for very short journeys. They have 2 propeller engines, i.e. engines with wings. The interesting thing in this is that even if one engine fails, the plane can fly with the help of the other engine, and if both the engines fail, the plane glides instead of stalling. Despite so much technology, how did this plane crash? Let's know further. The plane started taking off exactly at 3:3. At this time, the weather had also become completely clear. There was no problem. There were no effects of rain. Almost all the passengers sitting in this plane were very excited because this is not a normal flight. It is a very beautiful flight. To capture these beautiful sights, Captain Salha Janjua had also created his own YouTube channel. He used to capture these beautiful sights during the flight and upload them on his channel. The 1 hour 10 minutes flight is a short flight story. It is power where the plane had taken off and was flying through the beautiful mountains towards its destination Islamabad. People were watching the sights from their windows and enjoying them, but they did not know that this is the last journey of his life. After taking off normally, the plane reached an altitude of 14,000 feet, and only after that problems started to arise. One of the engines of the plane started to malfunction. It was fluctuating a bit. The pilot tried a lot to sort it out. When the pilot could not sort it out, one of the engineers from the passengers was called. By now the plane had traveled for 40 minutes. Normally, if technology messes up, it is human nature to turn it off and on, then maybe that thing will start again. The pilot did the same, but the engine of the plane could not start properly again. At this time, the plane was a little ahead of the mansion. At 4:12, the pilot called ATC. At this time, the pilot's voice was absolutely normal, but exactly after 2 minutes, the pilot contacted again, but ATC was quite surprised. When it happened, let's listen to those things now. According to the principles, this plane should have run fine on the other engine after one engine failed, but this plane went on the wrong side. The pilot tried a lot to straighten it, but the plane could not be straightened standing in the village. He told that the plane had turned upside down while doing somersaults and it kept on going upside down. It was falling down. It did somersaults 2-3 times and fell face down on the mountain. As soon as it fell, a very terrible accident had happened and the debris of the plane was spread for 2 kilometers, and Adam was thinking that within 5 minutes everyone had died.